So this right here is the part 2, and right now we'll be focused mostly on the fibs. I believe this is like the easiest part of them all. So without wasting any time, let us see how we actually use fibs. And apparently right now I'm looking at a set type on my 4-hour time frame. It's GBP. Let me just try and unpack this set type for you. So you can see that price actually done went in and gave me a breaker there, right? And then price went up. Remember, I said we look at the market structure, right? We look at the market structure, and then price gave me this low right here, and then price gave me that higher high right there, and then price gave me that lower low right there, and then price gave me that higher high right there, and now price is giving me a higher low right here, right? That's where I finna enter. Okay, so right now what I basically do, you actually saw that we are talking about the 4-hour order block, and I said if you are anticipating to take your trend based on the 4-hour order block, then that means you must wait for your candlestick pattern on your 1-hour time frame. Remember, I said if your order block is on the monthly time frame, you take your entry on the weekly time frame. If your order block is on the weekly time frame, you take your entry on the daily time frame. If your order block is on the daily time frame, you take your entry on the 4-hour time frame. If your order block is on the 4-hour time frame, you take your entry on the 1-hour time frame. So right now, look at what happened on the 1-hour time frame. Remember, you gotta draw your resistance there, right? You can see that price actually stop hunted this support, and now it's coming back right up. Cool. So what I want you to actually note here is that we didn't really have any pattern here, right? But before we get into that, remember I said we then have to confirm using our Fibonacci, and our Fibonacci retracement tool is at the 0.618 zone, which is cool. Remember, I said you take your entry starting from the 0.5 zone, 0.618 zone, and the 0.786 zone. Okay, so if we can look here, there's literally nothing here. We do not have our candlestick pattern, but instead we have our candlestick pattern on our 4-hour time frame. Right, let me just remove that quickly. You can see that we have our candlestick pattern on what? On our 4-hour time frame. Remember, I said if you do not get your candlestick pattern on the 1-hour time frame and you get it on the 4-hour time frame, you actually execute the trade. That is if you are looking to take a trade on your 4-hour order block. All right, if you are looking to take your trade on the daily order block, and your entries are going to be based on the 4-hour candlestick pattern close, and then you do not get your pattern on the 4-hour candlestick close, and you actually get your pattern on the daily time frame, you take that trade. Right here we had our 4-hour daily, our 4-hour order block, meaning we were supposed to enter using our 1-hour time frame, but on our 1-hour time frame we never really got our candlestick pattern. You can even look at the momentum right here, it's showing you that it's going up, right? So you then take your entry on the 4-hour time frame. I hope that is clear. Okay, if I can just look at the rules again. You first look at the market structure: low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? There is no disturbance of the lows or of the higher highs here. And then you draw your resistance, and you can see that price was at your support here, right? Let me just try and draw that properly. right? You can see that price here was it actually stop hunted this, and it's coming back. That is what is important. If it was here, if it gave me the pattern and it was somewhere here, probably I would have had doubts about this trade. But seeing that it's actually coming back inside the support, that what gives me the confidence to take the trade, right? Remember, the market cannot be perfect at all times, right? So now you then come here, right? And then you then draw your Fibonacci retracement, right? And then you see that price is done reversed at your 0.618 zone, which is pretty much cool, right? And then you had your pattern on your 4-hour time frame. Beautiful, isn't it? So this is basically all that you need. Remember, on the previous part, this is like the second day, right? On the previous part, I talked about AUDNZD. I said I was on an AUDNZD trade, and apparently the trade actually hit my take profit. Okay, let me just explain again on the trade. Remember, I said you follow the market structure. There is the high, there is the lower low, there is the lower high, there is the lower low, there is the lower high. I said I took my entry here, right? If you can go over to that part, you can to the previous part, you can see that AUDNZD was taken here. And then now you draw your what? Your support. Okay, you draw your support. Okay, and please pay attention, the order block is on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, the order block is on the 4-hour time frame, meaning you take your entry on your 1-hour time frame. Here is your order block, here is your order block right here. Okay, there is your order block, and then when you done went over to your 1-hour time frame, that's your pattern, beautiful pattern, right? And then you come back to your Fibs, okay, to see if it is at least at the 0.5 zone, and you can see that it is at the 0.786 zone, and that is actually what you need. You enter here, and then we actually entered here, and then we took our profits just down somewhere around here. We took our profit somewhere around there. All right, it was a very quick, beautiful trade. Took it like yesterday, I think, and then the following day it actually hit my TP. So what I'm trying to say is it's basically simple, right? So what if we never really got our pattern on our 1-hour time frame, we would have gotten over to our 4-hour time frame to see if we actually got our pattern. Remember, if you don't get your pattern on your 1-hour time frame, that is if you were trading the 4-hour order block, you wait to see it on your 4-hour time frame. If you were trading using the daily order block and then you do not get your candlestick pattern on your 4-hour time frame, you wait to see if it will form on your daily time frame, and then you can see here that it actually gave us this nice cool pattern of ours. There is our candlestick pattern, meaning even if we never really got our candlestick pattern on our 1-hour time frame, we would have entered using the 4-hour time frame. So that is basically it. It's pretty much simple stuff. Waiting to take this trade at my 4-hour candlestick at my 4-hour candlestick close. And I want y'all to look at this interesting thing also, right? I said here you can have short-term trades and you can have long-term trades. This is going to be a short-term trade, and I have a long-term trade here. But it still hasn't matured yet, but it will mature at the end of the week. That's if it actually gives me my candlestick pattern here. So I want you all guys to look at this for me. All right, or let me just go over to my daily time frame. I want you all to look at this for me, right? That is why I said it is very key for you to know how to draw the market. It is very key for you to understand the market structure. You see, we have a low there, we have a higher high there, we have a lower, excuse me, we have a lower high there, and then we have a what, a higher high there, and then we have a lower high there, right? So here, when you actually go over to your, let us see where it's seated on our order block. You can see that I actually went over to my monthly time frame, and price is actually on my monthly order block, right? Meaning we will use the weekly time frame to enter, meaning we must wait for our candlestick pattern on our weekly time frame. So if the week ends and we actually get our candlestick pattern here, we shall be looking to take this trade. Now let us look at the rules real quick. Okay, we can see that we have our support there, right? We have our support there, and then let us draw our Fibonacci retracement tool. There is our Fibonacci retracement tool. You can see that it's at the 0.618 zone, which is what we want. And then right now we saw that price is actually on our monthly order block, right? And then right now what we are waiting for is we are waiting for price to close this week above this bearish candle, giving us our candlestick pattern. And if it doesn't, then it's cool. But yeah, that's just what I'm actually looking at. So meaning here I might have a short-term trade and a long-term trade. Okay, so I wanted to basically talk about the Fib, but the Fib are super the Fibonacci retracement tool is super easy. Like I don't even got to explain it. You just remember I said your starting point has to be on the second touch always, right? Your starting point of your Fibonacci retracement tool has to be on your second touch always, second touch of your support, I mean of your trend line. Okay, and now we are expecting price to shoot up, and we will not be looking to take our profits less than that high, because we are in a monthly because this is a monthly order block, and once price reverses here, we are expecting it to create another higher high right there. So meaning we won't take less than that there. Okay, so let us just continue. Let me just continue showing you some stuff. And remember I said this on GU, this is a long-term trade, beautiful long-term trade. As you can see, it is a beautiful long-term trade starting from that high right there. But yeah, let me just I think I remember taking a set type on GU a while back, and there is the set type. So I want us to look at this set type. You can see that price is what is trending to the upward, right? So let us see why I took that entry right there. Firstly, let us look this our candlestick pattern is on our 4-hour time frame, so meaning price has to be at least on our daily order block. Okay, price has to be on our daily order block. Let us see if it was on our daily order block, and yes, price was on our daily order block. There is our daily order block there, and then there is our daily order block. Price moved away from this order block, and then it came back to retest this order block. So that is your rule number one. And then secondly, you throw your Fibonacci retracement tool, and price has to be at least at your 0.5 retracement zone, right? So your Fibonacci retracement tool has to start from your second touch. Remember I said that But before we do that, let us look at the market structure. We can see that we have a low there, we have a higher high there. It is very important for you to know the market structure. Without it, you're going to be messed up, right? We have our higher low there, we have our higher high there, and then we have our higher low. So another thing that I would prefer you to do, if the market structure is complicated and you're not really understanding where the highs and lows are, I'd advise you to stay away from that set type and wait for a much clearer set type, a set type like this. I mean, these are like simple higher highs and lows, right? So, and then you come over to your Fibonacci retracement tool, and then when you get there, you can see that price. Oh, sorry about that. You can see that price. Let's draw it again. And then when we get there, you can see that price was at your 0.50, reversed at your, at your 0.5 retracement zone, which is cool, right? And then now, where is your candlestick pattern? Clear candlestick pattern. There is your candlestick pattern. There is your candlestick pattern right there, right? And then what do you do? And then you enter here, and then you put your stop loss where? There. Okay. And then you would have gotten it, you would have taken at least the 1:2 risk to reward ratio, because you would have taken your profits at this high. Okay, beautiful. So this is like one of the most I cannot even explain how accurate this is. I cannot even explain how accurate this trading style is. I don't wanna I don't wanna say yo it's super accurate, but I want you to come to me and actually say to me, that this was indeed an accurate trading system. Like, I wanna be hearing testimonials, like crazy testimonials from you guys, because this right here, it's not something that you can fool around with. This right here is real. This right here is real. I mean, you go and see for yourself. Let me just try and leave it at that. Let me leave it at that. You're going to see it for yourself, right? So I think I'm forgetting something. I wanted to say something. Yeah. So yeah, let us just continue messing around with the set types and stuff. Let's see. This is USD CHF. I was looking at this trade a while ago. This is USD. Yes, this is USD CHF. It's a long-term trade. It's a long-term trade that I'm actually keeping an eye on, right? Let us see why I'm keeping an eye on this trade. I want you all to look at this. We have this low right there. We've got that higher. That is why I said to you, try to, if you do not understand the market structure, stay away from it. I prefer you trading something that you're going to be confident in. And right now we are trying to look at, we are anticipating a reversal here, right? We are anticipating a reversal there. So you draw your trend line there, right? And then you go over to your Fibs. You can see that price is reversing at your 0.786 zone, right? And then let us see where we are going to take our entries. You can see that we cannot use our daily time frame to enter, because on our weekly time frame we actually had that breaker there, right? So let us go over to our monthly time frame to actually see if price is seated on our order block. And yes, on our monthly time frame you can see that price is actually here, right? Price actually moved away from this order block and now it's coming back to retest this order block. So that means we finna enter using our weekly time frame. So I'm waiting for my pattern maybe next week here, once this red candlestick closes, and then maybe I will get this nice bullish candle that's going to give me my candlestick pattern. But I'm trying to simplify things to that extent where all of you guys, even like the beginner traders, I'm trying to simplify things to that extent where even beginner traders can actually understand what I'm actually talking about. But what's going to actually help you here, it's definitely practice, right? Don't be ashamed of asking in the group. Don't be ashamed of posting in the group, so I'm trying to actually accommodate all of you guys, you see. I'm trying to accommodate all of you guys, and hopefully that's going to happen. All right. So I will see you in I'll see you in the next part. Cool.